From NBT Bank Stadium, always great to come out to the ballpark. Father-son duo enjoying a Wednesday night game between the Syracuse Mets and the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. Inside our Visit Syracuse broadcast booth with Jack Gordon, I'm Michael Tricurico. Happy to have you joining us. Jack, Syracuse has had some really good starting pitching this season. It may be inconsistent who's in the starting rotation, but one of the more consistent guys has been Nolan McLean.
Every time out, he's gone at least 5 innings. He's got an ERA under 3. There's not much more you can ask for out of Nolan McLean. He goes out there and posts every 5th or 6th day and gives Syracuse a quality start no matter what.
And in fact, at his last start, he struck out a career-high 10 batters, and we kind of felt at times during that start against Worcester last week that maybe he didn't even have his best stuff. That's a scary proposition considering he still struck out those 10 batters.
We saw dominance out of McLean last time out. He felt really comfortable and was just putting batter after batter away. He also only walked 1 batter, so it's hard to say that wasn't McLean's maybe 2nd or 3rd best outing of the year.
Nolan McLean slated to face a Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs lineup that certainly has some talent in it, 1 through 9. One noticeable missing piece is Weston Wilson. He was a late scratch. Maybe that has something to do with Max Kepler leaving the Phillies game this afternoon. They had an afternoon game where Kepler left the game against the Giants with what is being reported as a bruised right shin. So that could be a possibility for Weston Wilson. Still a very talented Lehigh Valley lineup that features Justin Crawford, one of the top prospects in baseball, at the top of it. And the first pitch from McLean misses high, and we are underway at 6:37, 81 degrees and cloudy skies here in Syracuse. Sun has been peeking in and out from behind those clouds. Here's the 1-0, swinging a ground ball, third base side foul near the home plate area, and the count's 1-1. Crawford, a 21-year-old left-handed batter, is hitting .340 this season in 69 games, but just doesn't have a ton of power. That's all right, though. Sometimes power is just not part of a guy's game. Here comes the 1-1. Here's the pitch, swinging a fly ball foul, third base side out of play for strike 2. That being said, .340 batting average, 29 RBIs, only the 2 home runs, but still 18 doubles and 3 triples, thanks, of course, in large part to that speed that Crawford has. Here comes the 1-2 from McLean. Called strike 3, painted a sinker on the inside corner, and Nolan McLean is off to a scorching start here on a steamy Wednesday afternoon.
Well, he made pretty quick work of Crawford there, and he had a lot of faith in the hard stuff. 4-seam fastball, 2 cutters, and then a sinker.
Defensively for the Mets, it's Jose Azocar in right, Drew Gilbert in center, Jared Young in left. You've got David Villar at first, Yanni Hernandez at second, Pablo Reyes the shortstop, Luis De Los Santos at third, and Francisco Alvarez behind the plate catching for Syracuse with McLean on the mound. Keaton Anthony now the batter. First pitch, a strike from McLean. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss on the sweeper, and it's 0-2.
It's a great sign that he retired Crawford, the leadoff man, notably because he's a lefty. That's one of the things McLean is working on, trying to put away left-handed hitters.
No balls and 2 strikes on Anthony. McLean taking a little extra step, and the pitch is swung on and missed with the sweeper for strike 3. How about that, throwing off the timing as he kicked the leg, just held that front left leg up for an extra minute, dangling his left foot before delivering a put-away sweeper for the second strikeout.
Pitch strikes, all of these pitches executed perfectly.
Now here's another left-handed batter. It's Garrett Stubbs. Here's the pitch from McLean, and it's taken just high with the cutter for ball 1. Stubbs, a 32-year-old, hitting .259 this season in 49 games. 6 homers, 6 doubles. Here's the 1-0. That's a strike with another cutter right at the upper echelon of the zone, and the count's now 1-1. Well, again, McLean struck out a career high, not a AAA career high, a professional career-high 10 batters in his last start. Here comes the 1-1. Stubbs, half swing, and he went around for strike 2. That was a 94-mile-an-hour fastball on the inner half. Well, members of the Mets front office have mentioned with guys like McLean and with Sproat, like you were talking about, Jack, that next step is getting more left-handed batters out consistently. So far, so good for McLean, ahead in the count on a left-hand hitting Stubbs. 2 outs, top first, no score. Here's the 1-2. Swinging a chopper, hit to the right side and through into right field for a hit. That was a cutter from McLean. Not a bad spot. It was actually below the zone, but over the heart of the plate. And Stubbs went down and got it, pulling that strongly through the right side for a 2-out single.
Well, he's thrown a lot of cutters to Crawford and Stubbs now, the 2 left-handed hitters he's faced. I'm sure he will to Rincones, too, so the placement of that pitch is going to be very important.
It's all about what these guys are working on at this level, refining that pitch arsenal, working on the pitch location. Gabriel Rincones Jr. first pitch, grounded in front of home plate, picked up fair by Alvarez. Throw to first, ends up hitting Rincones, but he was in the baseline. It was out of the baseline to the left side of the line, so he is out. It's always tough for a runner down the line. The base is in fair territory, but once you get halfway down the line, you got to be in foul ground. And Rincones started in fair territory, and what they tell catchers is sometimes just throw it right at his back. And it was the right call. From the top of that Syracuse lineup, Luis Angel Acuna, a late scratch, no official reason given yet. Of course, the New York Mets were postponed today, so they'll have a doubleheader tomorrow and an opportunity at a 27th man. Who that will be, who knows? But until we get official word, that's where we're at with Acuna. Here in the bottom of the first, no score between the Mets and the Iron Pigs. Jack, even without Luis Angel Acuna at the top of the lineup, Gabe Moser is going to have his work cut out for him. He's been struggling a bit this season, and this is still a great Syracuse lineup. You
know, you replace Acuna with a guy in Jose Azocar who's hitting above 250. He's got 4 doubles, a homer in 20 games. Great speed, and he gets on base.
First pitch from Moser is swung on and grounded foul. Third base side, and the count's 0-1.
So similar archetypes of a player. Azocar probably has higher upside as a guy that can hit for extra bases, but he gets on and he can steal bags.
Here comes the 0-1. Swing and a foul off the end of the bat. A curveball from Moser, shifting the count to 0-2. Moser's making his 7th start here with Lehigh Valley. First 6 starts have been iffy, especially his last start. Here comes the 0-2. Inside. Backs Azocar off the plate. Moser, last week against Scranton Wilkes-Barre, went 4 1/3 innings where he gave up 10 hits, 9 runs. They were all earned. 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. 1-2. That bounces in the dirt for ball 2. He gave up 3 home runs in that start. And it's a Syracuse team who hit 3 home runs yesterday off Andrew Painter. That's a team that certainly is smelling blood in the water. Here's the 2-2. Swinging a ground ball left side through into left field for a hit. Azocar rounds first. He holds there as the throw comes in from the left fielder, Cal Stevenson. And a great start for the Mets tonight with Azocar on base.
Hanging curveball right there, and Azocar bounced all over it. You know, he got a good pitch to hit, barreled it up, and hit it 101 off the bat.
A guy that certainly can hit the ball hard, and we'll see if his speed plays a role with him at first. And Jared Young stepping to the plate for Syracuse, a 30-year-old, just turned 30 today. How about that? July 9th birthday for Young, and the first pitch misses down low for ball 1. Boy, turning 30. Might be coming up in a couple of days. I've got 6 more days. Yeah. Here's the 1-0. Taken for a strike, and it's 1-1.
What's going to change?
I don't know.
Become a different person?
I'm not sure. I mean, Jared Young, like the final days of 29 years old, he's been crushing the ball. 3 straight games with a home run for Young. Can he homer for a 4th straight game on his 30th birthday? 1-1, swing and a miss for strike 2. That was too good for it to happen on that pitch. Young for the season's hitting .280 in 30 AAA games. 8 homers, 5 doubles, 20 walks to 24 strikeouts. Azocar off of first. Here's the pitch. And that's taken off the plate according to Evan Johnson, the home plate umpire. But we're getting a challenge from Garrett Stubbs. And I think he might have a point on this one. Yep, that was strike 3. So a good challenge from Stubbs. And after Azokar leads off with the single, Young strikes out looking on a beautifully placed pitch from Gabe Moser. One away, and now here's Francisco Alvarez. Alvarez bats from the right-hand side. Moser from the stretch. The pitch is taken outside. A half swing from Alvey did not go. An appeal to Caleb Martin, the first base umpire. So you've got Evan Johnson behind the plate, Caleb Martin at first, and it's Casey James, the crew chief, who's the third base umpire in this three-man crew. 1-0 on Alvey. Here's the pitch. That's taken for a strike. Sinker on the outside edge, and it's 1-1. Alvarez in AAA is hitting .217, 10 for 46, but has shown some great power. OPS of nearly 800 despite a slow start. 1-1, swinging a grounder foul, third base side for strike two. I think the thing that's most fun about seeing Alvarez here in AAA is that he's still got that big smile on his face. I mean, he's having a lot of fun with the guys here. Even if he wants to be with the big league club, he still has an awesome, fun attitude.
You know, he was disappointed by the demotion, but you wouldn't be able to tell. You know, he's still very engaged. He's learning every day, getting better every day behind the plate and in the batter's box.
I think a lot of these guys learn there's some things you can control and there's just others you can't. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a pop-up foul ground first base side. Long run in. It's the first baseman, Anthony, making the call and the catch. And then Azokar tags off of first, got about halfway to second because nobody was covering first and said, okay, fine, I'll stay here. Two away, and Pablo Reyes is coming to the plate. Now with 2 outs, it'll be interesting to see if the Mets do have Azokar take off. He's 6 for 8 in stolen bases in only 20 AAA games. Had a stolen base yesterday for the Mets that put 2 runners in scoring position before the David Villar go-ahead 3-run homer. Pitch. That's taken for a strike, and it's 0-1. Well, Reyes down here in AAA is hitting .395, 15 for 38 in 12 games. Pitch here is a strike. Sinker from Moser. And Gabe Moser has allowed at least 2 runs in every start he has made here with Lehigh Valley this season. Start of the year in AA with Reading. You don't mind giving up a couple of runs. Like with Reading, there were sometimes he would give up 1 or 2 runs, but he would make it through 5-6 innings. No balls and a strike on Reyes. Here's the pitch. That's outside for ball 1. You can tell right now he's really working away against these right-handed batters with the occasional fastball in on the hands to back him off the plate. Got Azokar at first with excellent speed. Reyes at the plate with no score between Syracuse and Lehigh Valley. Second game of a 6-game series between the AAA Mets and the AAA Phillies. Runner takes off. 1-1. Loop toward short. Caught by Walton. Azokar was off on that pitch, and Reyes was a little off balance. Start of the second inning at NBT Bank Stadium. Oscar Mercado leads off for the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. Nolan McLean back to the mound for the Syracuse Mets. First pitch. This is outside with a sweeper for ball 1. Well, McLean struck out the first 2 batters he faced. Had 2 strikes on Stubbs before he allowed a 2-out single, and then got Rincones to ground out in front of home plate to end the inning. Mercado, meanwhile, has really did a nice job combining his speed with some good power. Another sweeper misses for ball 2. 249 batting average, but 11 home runs, 7 home runs, 11 doubles, a triple. He's walked more times than he's struck out. 46 walks to 44 strikeouts. Here's the 2-0, swinging a high fly ball, shallow right. Azokar sprinting in from right, making the call towards the line. He makes the catch, just leaping in the air right before the right field foul line. Yanni Hernandez teasing him as those two were sprinting towards each other before Azokar made the final call, 1 away. So now here's Cal Stevenson, a 28-year-old batting left-handed. .227 batting average in 62 games, 42 walks, 57 strikeouts. McLean from the full windup. Here's the first pitch. And a curveball lands on the outside corner for strike one. You know, it's been fun to see McLean when he has all his pitches really working for him. He's as good as anyone we've seen. 0-1, swing and a miss. Another curveball for strike two. And keep in mind, this is a Lehigh Valley offense that I know they've lost a couple of guys to the big leagues. Weston Wilson, maybe he'll be in the big leagues. Who knows? Otto Kemp, but that's still a very talented lineup. Here comes the 0-2. Call. Okay, apparently that missed. Stevenson was walking back to the first base dugout. We're going to get a challenge from Francisco Alvarez, and yeah, it was strike three, so a good challenge from Alvarez. That is the third strikeout today for Nolan McLean, and he's through just 6 batters.
I mean, his sinker has just looked mystifying to these hitters. We've seen a couple of pitches taken right down the middle.
Really is remarkable. And again, I mean, the fastball velocity doesn't have to be 98, 99, 100 like a Brandon Sprode or a Blade Tidwell. Here's the pitch to Rafael Antigua. Misses the zone for ball one. What's so interesting about those 3 starting pitchers is that there are many similarities between them, but they still, each one has their own uniqueness to them, their own intricacies. 1-0, Antigua takes a strike in the inside corner. It's 1-1. 2 outs here in the top of the second. No score between the Mets and the Iron Pigs. 1-1 the count on Lantigua. Here's the pitch. And a sweeper just misses the plate. Alvarez, well, he sat there for an extra moment wondering, should I challenge or not? But that pitch did miss just above the zone. So it's a 2-1 count. The pitch, swing and a clip foul. Fastball at 94, and it's now 2-2. I think that's the other thing you got to like about McLean early is how many 2-strike counts he's getting on these opposing batters.
He's attacking. You know, he's not trying to dance around the edges.
It's something Blade Tidwell has been doing more this season. It's something Dom Hamill had been doing more this season. Brandon Sproat's starting to have that attack mentality. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. 95-mile-an-hour sinker. It is 4 strikeouts to the first 7 batters for Nolan McLean and 2 scoreless innings pitched. Bottom 2 up next. Lehigh Valley nothing, Syracuse nothing. Hunt Valley live on the score 12-60. Righty on lefty matchup. Here's the first pitch. And Gilbert takes a called strike on the outside corner with a slider. Counts 0-1. Gilbert for the season's hitting .232 in 67 games, but he has been better over a 12-game stretch. 0-1 is another strike, that time the sinker on the inside corner, shifting the count to 0-2. Over his last 12 games, Gilbert's hitting .318, 5 home runs, 2 doubles, and 4 walks compared to 8 strikeouts. 0-2 on Drew. Here's the pitch. Swinging a soft grounder foul. It's a good changeup from Moser on the outside edge, knee high. Gilbert spoiled it to stay alive. Mostly cloudy skies, but some remnants of sunlight out in the distance as the sun sets down the third base and left field line on a Wednesday evening. Here comes the 0-2 to Gilbert. Swing and a miss, strike three. An excellent curveball from Moser. That's his second strikeout today, and after allowing the leadoff single to Jose Azocar in the first, that's 4 in a row retired by Gabe.
He's looked pretty good, and he's looked deceptive, too. He's mixing pitches and mixing speeds pretty well, keeping everybody in this lineup on their toes.
Well, Moser is pitching for his hometown team. He was born in Allentown, Pennsylvania. First pitch to VR is lifted in the air to shallow left center field. Walton's out from short. He gets called off by the left fielder, Cal Stevenson, who makes the catch for the second out of the frame. Moser was originally in the San Diego Padres organization.
Designated hitter, number 45,
signed a minor league contract with the Philadelphia Phillies before this season. It's been moved from the development list to the active roster. One of those extra pitchers that you keep around on your roster in case you need them. Here's the first pitch to Joey Meneses, and it misses the zone for ball 1. And Lehigh Valley has needed some extra arms. 1 ball and no strikes here on Meneses. Here's the pitch. It's taken maybe a little bit low. So ball to Meneses, and the count's now 2-0. No score between Syracuse and Lehigh Valley. Meneses, a 33-year-old, hitting .264 with some good power. Pitch. There's a strike on the inside corner. 5 homers, 27 doubles, a triple. I mean, we've said it. The extra base hit potential has been there for Meneses, but he's been lacking in home runs. Had one the other day. 2-1. That misses the zone for ball 3. In fact, Meneses' home run yesterday was his first homer in a month. A July 8th home run, and the previous one was June 8th. 3-1 on Meneses. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a fly ball down the right field line, but hooking foul out of play to the seats. It was an opposite field home run as well, something that we know Meneses has the potential to go, to right center field and go the other way, but so many of his extra base hits are balls that he just pulls down the line or to the left center field gap. Here comes the 3-2. Swinging a grounder foul off his front foot. Still no score between Syracuse and Lehigh Valley. Wednesday night here in Syracuse, a Mets team that is 10-3 in the second half of the season. They've won 11 of their last 14 games, looking to keep this hot stretch going. Still 3-2 on Meneses with 2 outs and nobody on. Here's the pitch, and it's taken outside for ball 4. How about that? A patient approach from Joey Meneses. Tends to put the ball in play, but had a good eye during that plate appearance. A 2-out walk extends the inning and brings Luis De Los Santos to the plate. And you almost get the feeling against a guy like Moser, it doesn't matter when it comes, 1 out, 2 outs, no outs. You just got to get as many base runners as possible and let that pitch count start to rack up. And maybe you could get to him, not just later in the game, but later in these innings. First pitch to De Los Santos misses up and away for ball 1. De Los Santos is hitting .244 in 63 games for the season. 3 homers, 9 doubles. He had a pair of hits yesterday, both hard hit balls. 1-0, swinging a ground ball, hard hit, but right to third. Fielded by Castro, and the throw to second is in time to get Meneses for the final out of the frame. Syracuse has left a runner on base in each inning. Justin Jr. back in our Score 1260 studios with Jack Gordon. I'm Michael Tricarico. Great day at the ballpark here in Syracuse. So many different options. Fans taking a look at many of the food options down on the concourse. No score between Syracuse and Lehigh Valley. A former Met, Donovan Walton, leads off. Here's the first pitch from Nolan McLean, and it's a cutter that misses high for ball 1. Walton, who's 31 years old, played his first 73 games this season with Syracuse before he was traded to the Phillies. Here's the 1-0. It's inside for ball 2. All of a sudden, Syracuse had such a backlog of players on the position player side on its roster. Phillies needed some extra position players, so it's just a good match. 2-0 pitch on the outside corner, and the count's 2-1. A slow start coming over to Lehigh Valley for Donnie, 3 for 18. Here comes the 2-1. And that's taken just off the plate for ball 3, 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Get to know a guy even in just a couple of months, though, and Walton's definitely a guy that we'll be rooting for in every game except when he's playing the Mets. Here comes the 3-1. Here's the strike in the outside quarter. You still kind of root for him. You're like, all right, he could get a hit here or there even in this game, just as long as, runs aren't going to score that end up making a difference. Top of the third inning, nobody out. 3-2 on Walton. So far, so good for Nolan McLean. 4 strikeouts through the first 7 batters. 3-2. That's outside ball 4. First walk that McLean has allowed today. Again, in his last start for Syracuse, which was last week against Worcester. It was July 3rd game in Worcester. McLean only walked 1 batter and had 10 strikeouts. So now with Walton over at first, Rodolfo Castro is the batter at the plate. .238 average in 75 games, 26 years old, batting from the right-hand side. Squared stance, the right-handed batter's box. Here comes the first pitch, and it's a fastball for a strike, a sinker at 96 miles an hour. One of the faster pitches we've seen today from McLean. Walton leads off of first. Big hole on the right side. Mets playing Castro to pull the ball to the left side. The pitch is outside with a sweeper for ball one. You got the first baseman, VR, holding on Walton, and then the second baseman, Yanni Hernandez, playing just to the right of second base. So nearly anything to the right side would get through. 1-1. Swinging a chopper, hit to short. Fielded by Reyes. Throws to second for one. No turn at first. Tough turn is Reyes had to wait for that second high hop to get to him. Castro is hustling down the line. So fielder's choice goes 6-4, one away with Castro at first and the top of the order coming to the plate.
Yeah, Walton slid into second, and obviously the throw beat him there. Yanni Hernandez was just staring at him for a moment, like, hey, I know you. And he helped him up.
Old friend. It's like he's never left. Here's a throw to first. Nearly gets Castro. Slides back to the base.
He's got the best pickoff move of a right-handed pitcher I've seen this season. You know, he's already picked off a runner or two this year, and he's always a threat.
Yeah, McLean with 3 pickoffs this year. As this ball is grounded back to McLean. Only plays to first. Makes it there for the second out. Castro does advance to second base, though, as Castro's out 1-3, 2 away with Keaton Anthony coming to the plate.
Number 10, Keaton Anthony.
Hey, figure it's always tougher for a right-handed pitcher, right, to pick off guys as opposed to a left-handed pitcher who's staring over at first base. But McLean's move has been good enough for 3 pickoffs plus a couple of closer calls. First pitch to Keaton Anthony, swing and a miss for a strike. And I think, too, when you get the reputation as a pitcher of a guy who can pick off players, that alone keeps a guy's lead slightly shortened.
That's important against this team, too. You know, they've got a bunch of guys in this lineup that can take off.
No balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Anthony swings and fouls it straight back for strike 2. They've got a trio of players who nearly have as many stolen bases as Syracuse has as a team. Mets have 41 stolen bases this year.
They've got 5 guys with 10-plus steals. Crawford and Mercado themselves have over 60 in total.
Well, big spot here. No score, top 3. Runner at second, 0-2. Swung on and clipped foul. I mean, Anthony has been a productive hitter at every level that he has been at. Went undrafted back in 2023. Ended up signing a minor league deal with the Phillies. No balls and 2 strikes on Keaton Anthony with a runner at second. Here comes the pitch. Called strike 3. Another strikeout, and this one in a big spot for Nolan McLean. 5 strikeouts through 3 innings. Bottom of the 3rd inning at NBT Bank Stadium. No score between the Mets and the Iron Pigs. Yanni Hernandez leads off for Syracuse. 9-1-2 due up in the Mets order. Hernandez, a 27-year-old switch hitter, bats left-handed. First pitch from the righty Moser is taken for a called strike. A sinker on the inside corner knee high, and it's 0-1. Well, Hernandez was the guy added to the lineup. There was some additional shuffling as well, but Yanni was the added player when Acuna was scratched. Pitch here is taken for a strike in the outside edge, the slider, and it's 0-2. Think about that. You're adding a player to the lineup who's hitting .326 in 43 AAA games, and someone who has reached base in 21 of his last 23 games with a .424 batting average over that stretch. Here comes the 0-2. Swinging a liner foul, third base side. That's what you might call a deep roster and a deep lineup. Over this 23-game stretch, Hernandez has an OPS that's better than 1,000. Down to the count, 0-2, the pitch. Swinging a high fly ball towards left. Stevenson freezes, now takes a couple steps in and to his left, making a two-handed grab for the first out of the frame.
Right fielder.
So one turn through the order. So far, so good for Moser, who had been struggling here in AAA this season. Got knocked around in his last start, but this is so far a good bounce-back outing. See how the Mets do the second turn through the order. Jose Azocar at the plate with one out. He singled through the left side his first time up. First pitch from Moser. Swing and a pop foul. First base side out of play. That thing heads to the concourse. Counts 0-1. Azocar started the season in the Mets organization. Was out of it for a couple of weeks. 0-1. That's taken outside ball one, but on a check swing appeal, he went around, according to Caleb Martin, the first base umpire. So it's 0-2. Open stance for Jose on the right-hand side. Here's the pitch from Moser. Swinging a fly ball foul. First base side out of play. How good to have Jose back. I mean, he immediately adds speed and athleticism that the Syracuse roster was lacking. We've mentioned only 41 stolen bases for Syracuse. 0-2. The miss is high for a ball. I think as well, if you end up looking at some of the extra Hawkeye and StatCast data like sprint speed, Syracuse would be towards the bottom of all of minor league baseball in speed and athleticism. 1-2 is inside, and it hit him. It's only a question of whether it hit his arm or the bat, and it hit his arm, so a hit by pitch for Azocar. Bit of a mistake there from Moser with 2 strikes, and Syracuse will have a one-out base runner. Hopefully Azocar's all right.
Yeah, Moser had been pretty effective with that sinker inside, trying to handcuff guys, make them uncomfortable, get the ball off the handle, or force them to take the pitch thinking it's too far inside, but that one just ran away from him.
Well, and that's kind of what he has been doing, working away, and then just coming in with that pitch. And this one, yeah, it's a very bony spot to be hit right on the arm. But Azocar's staying in as he jogs on down to first. So the Mets have a one-out base runner with Jared Young coming to the plate. Righty on lefty matchup. Young struck out looking his first time up. First pitch, swing and a miss. Good curveball from Moser for strike one. Well, Young has not only had success here this week, he's had success against Lehigh Valley throughout the season. Here's the 0-1, inside ball one. Young is 11 for 30 against Lehigh Valley this year with 9 RBIs, 3 home runs, 3 walks, and only 4 strikeouts. Went 3 for 5 yesterday with the home run. Azocar is at first. The pitch is taken off the plate with the slider for ball 2. Young spent some time in the big leagues, playing 18 games with the New York Mets. Hit 3 home runs up there, 642 OPS. Part of the reason why he's back down here. 2-1 on Young. The pitch. Runner takes off. Pitch is grounded through the right side into right center field for a hit. Azocar around second. He heads for third. Jared Young has a one-out single. And the Mets might be in business here. Runners at first and third for Francisco Alvarez.
Well, since Azocar was taken off on that pitch, the middle infielders were kind of in an awkward spot. So that slid into right center field past the second base bag, and because of Azocar's speed, he gets all the way to third.
The irony of it is because Young's a lefty up, it's the shortstop who's covering the base. But if it was the second baseman Lantigua who is moving towards second, he actually would have been in a better position to make that play because it was more up the middle near the base. Syracuse will take it, though. You've got runners on the corners for Alvey, who popped out and foul ground to first base his first time up. He had a big RBI single yesterday. First pitch, swinging a ground ball to third. Fielded by Castro, throws to second, one turn to first in time, double play. He scorched it, 103 off the bat, but on the ground, and an inning-ending double play gets Moser through 3 scoreless. No score between the Mets and the Iron Pigs as we go to the 4th. Start of the 4th inning at NBT Bank Stadium. No score between the Mets and the Iron Pigs, and as we turn the play-by-play over to Jack Gordon, Jack, Nolan McLean has looked masterful.
He's been very impressive, Michael. 5 strikeouts through 3 innings of work. He's only walked 1 batter and allowed 1 hit. No score here in the top of the fourth inning with McLean back on the bump and the left-handed hitting catcher Garrett Stubbs up to bat. Only man with a hit off McLean today. Well, one of the things Nolan's working on this season is getting left-handed hitters out. He's got a couple of strikeouts against lefties today. We'll see how he fares. First pitch is in there for a called strike with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, 0-1. 2 Ks in the first for Nolan, 2 in the second, and then 1 to end the top of the third. 0-1 pitch. Stubbs squares to bunt. Couldn't find the ball, and it's a strike. Pulled the bat away too early, trying to drag it down the first baseline. Now, Stubbs is a pretty good hitter for a catcher, batting .263 this year, 6 homers and 36 RBIs. 0-2 the count. McLean winds up and delivers outside for a ball. Went back to the heater there. Stubbs, a 31-year-old from San Diego, California. Former 8th-round pick 10 years ago by the Astros. The 1-2. Sliced foul. Played his college ball at USC and won the Johnny Bench Award for the nation's best catcher in 2015. He was traded to the Phillies from the Astros 4 years ago. He's played almost 200 Major League games with Philadelphia. 1 ball and 2 strikes, no score, starting the fourth. Here's the pitch. Just foul tipped on a sinker. McLean's throwing hard today. 4-seamer, sinker, both sitting around 95. He's gotten up to 96. Like you mentioned earlier, he doesn't throw 100, but, geez, he can really blow you away with 95 or 96. 1-2. Low and inside for a ball. Went to the cutter there. He's thrown that a bunch against the left-handed hitters today. Gotten a couple of swings and misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Stubbs, the lefty. The pitch. Bounced foul right on home plate, and it rolls into first base foul territory side. Light blue skies today, some clouds drifting overhead. Temperatures up around 80. It's been kind of humid today. No imminent rain, though. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Stubbs. The righty winds up and fires. Check swing, strike 3. He got him with a sinker at 95. Alvarez's throw down to first is on the money. So after the drop third, there's 1 out in the top of the fourth. No score between Lehigh Valley and Syracuse.
I mean, that sinker is just befuddling so many of these batters.
Here's Gabriel Rincones Jr. First pitch swung on and missed. A high fastball at 95. 0-1. Now, this really is nothing new for McLean. He's been pretty dominant at the AAA level. Only 23 years old, but since his call-up, he's been fantastic. 0-1, lined into right center field. Gilbert's got a good jump, but it takes a bounce right before his glove for a 1-out single.
Thing just had so much topspin on it. Thought it was coming back towards Gilbert, but just landed at his feet. All you could do is stop it at that point.
Designated hitter.
Rincones hits the ball hard. That was 106 on the line drive up the middle. 1 out, runner at first, no score in the top of the fourth inning. Rincones leads off of first base. Oscar Mercado up the pitch. First pitch breaking ball misses inside. 1-0. Mercado flew out to right field in the second inning. Last night, 1 for 3 with a double. Also a pair of stolen bases. 1-0 pitch. In there for a called strike. Went to the fastball on the outer third. 1-1. Since Nolan McLean's call-up on May 9th, he's second in ERA at 2.8, first in opponent average at 2.06, and fourth with 55 strikeouts. Been one of the best pitchers in the International League, no doubt about it. 1-1 pitch, runner goes. Alvarez catches, throws down. He is in there in time. Head first slide. Rincones got a really nice jump. He's now 9 for 12 stealing bases this year.
That's a Tough pitch, too, for Alvarez to be able to throw a guy out on who gets a good jump. Sweeper away, had to throw from his knees. Couldn't get too much mustard behind it.
2-1 pitch. Breaking ball drops in for a called strike. 2-2. Back to the sweeper. Alvarez threw a runner out at second base yesterday on his hardest throw of the season, over 86 miles per hour. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner at second. No score in the top of the fourth. McLean spins and throws to second. Rincones back in time. Two-two pitch. Popped up foul, out of play. So McLean's only been in AAA for 2 months, but his ERA is under 3. He's pitched at least 5 innings in every start. He's got over 50 strikeouts in that span. And David Stearns, the New York Mets president of baseball operations, says Nolan's pretty close. 2-2 is low for ball 3. Of the top prospect group of pitchers, Blade Tidwell and Nolan McLean, Brandon Sproat, Tidwell's the only one that's been up this season. He is older, larger body of work, but he said both Sproat and McLean are pretty close. Just a couple more things to work on at this level. Spin and a throw to second. It gets through into center. Rincones taking off for third. Gilbert's throw is high and off the mark. Feet first slide by Rincones. He's in safely. That'll be a throwing error on Nolan McLean that allows Rincones to move up 90 feet. That's a big mistake right there. With only 1 out, now you have a runner at third.
Mets got lucky, too, that was a good throw from Gilbert because nobody was backing up third base after that bad throw.
Well, McLean spun, and his momentum was carrying towards the left side of that bag, and that's where it went, out of reach for Yanni Hernandez. Rincones at third, full count to Mercado. 1 out in the fourth. The pitch is low and outside for ball 4. So Mercado draws a walk. That's the second one given out by McLean today.
Well, and here you go, too. You got Mercado, who's always a threat to steal bases at first. You got a runner at third. Would not be surprised if, well, Mercado tries to take second here, and then the question becomes, all right, what are the Mets going to do?
Lehigh Valley pulled off a double steal yesterday with runners at first and third and scored. Mercado's second in the International League with 34 stolen bases here, so it wouldn't be surprising. The question is whether Alvarez should actually throw down to second base if that happens. Last night he threw down to second, throw was okay. Runner went home and scored pretty easily. So it's Mercado at first, Rincones Jr. at third with 1 out in the top of the fourth inning. Still no score between Syracuse and Lehigh Valley as the left-handed hitting Cal Stevenson steps up to bat. Stevenson, the 28-year-old out of California, 10th round pick in 2018. McLean spins, throws to first, tag applied. Oh, it's just a bit late. McLean claps his hand into his glove in frustration. He thought he got him. Really close play with Mercado diving back head first. It looked like he had him, but the first base umpire, Caleb Martin, he's got the best view. First pitch to Stevenson is outside for a ball. Train rolling by out in left field. Somewhat cloudy Wednesday night. 1 ball, no strikes. On the lefty, the pitch is outside for ball 2. McLean's got a good pickoff move. It was a good throw. VR looked like he applied the tag, but Mercado just got into the base in time. 2 balls, no strikes. Big lead over at first. And he goes. The pitch is a called strike. Alvarez throws down to second, and the throw is in time. Perfect throw by Alvarez for out number 2. That's a game-changing play.
That was just beautifully, beautifully done all around by Syracuse. Elevated a cutter, great throw from Alvarez, and the Syracuse Mets are in business here with 2 outs.
That's one of the fastest runners in the league that Alvarez just wiped off the bases. 3-0. Foul tipped, and it's 3-1.
His pop time yesterday, same as it was today, 1.88. Yesterday you said 86.1 miles an hour. This one, 82.8, but it still gets the job done.
Rincon is still at third, 2 outs in the fourth. I mean, that's really a difference-making play by Alvarez there, because with 1 out, anything hitting the outfield would probably score Rincones. Full count, 2 down. McLean set out of the stretch. He throws. Taken for a ball outside. Stevenson 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. McLean got him earlier with a sinker. Full count, 2 down. He fires. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Four-seam fastball on the outer third. Puts away Stevenson and ends the inning. Bottom of the fourth inning at NBT Bank Stadium. No score between Syracuse and Lehigh Valley as Pablo Reyes leads off for the Mets. Gabe Moser, the right-handed starting pitcher, back on the mound. He's only allowed 2 hits through 3 innings. Moser winds up and delivers. First pitch in there for a called strike. 0-1. Pretty surprising that Moser has had this kind of success today, given his last start a week ago against Scranton. He really struggled. 0-1. Reyes swings and rips it over to short. Backhand stop. Walton, he plants, throws, 1 hop. It's fielded by Anthony to get him in time. Beautiful stop over at third. Great pick at first. And Reyes is put away. Well, Donovan Walton used to be getting base hits for the Mets. Now he's taking them away on defense for Lehigh Valley. 1 out in the bottom of the fourth. Here's Drew Gilbert. Bright neon green cleats today in the left-handed batter's box. Moser winds up and throws. Gilbert takes a called strike. Slider up at the letters. This one's being challenged by Gilbert. He might have a case here. High slider, and it was just about an inch above the zone. So instead of starting 0-1, it's a 1-ball, no-strike count on Drew. Gilbert's 0 for 1 with a strikeout today. 1-0 pitch. He takes the ball inside, 2-0. Gilbert's swinging a hot bat. 5 homers in his last 8 games. 2 balls, no strikes. Moser winds up and delivers. Swing and a liner over into left center. Walton backs up and makes the catch. Just a flare that was rising until it dropped into Walton's glove. 2 outs, bottom 4, still scoreless between the Mets and Iron Pigs. That brings up David Villar, who had a huge 3-run homer last night. That put the Mets ahead 5-4. First pitch, Villar takes the ball outside. Big win for the Mets last night in Game 1 of the series, a 13-5 victory. 13 runs off of 14 hits. The 1-0 pitch. Villar waves and misses at a slider. Mets are 10-3 to start the second half. Best record in the International League. 1-1 count, the pitch. Villar checks his swing, and it's called a strike by home plate umpire Evan Johnson. Villar down 0-2 here. One and two on Villar. The pitch. He takes the ball outside, and this one's being challenged by Villar. It was called a strike, but it was a bad call by Johnson. Couple inches low and outside, so this will be reversed. Villar was pretty confident in challenging that one. He stood in the batter's box the whole time and said, wait a minute, no way. So instead of strike 3, it's a 2-ball, 2-strike count with 2 outs. Moser on the third base side of the rubber winds up and throws. VR takes the ball further outside that time. A curveball, full count. Moser, the right-handed pitcher, wears a black glove on his left hand, a sleeve of tattoos on that left arm. 3 balls, 2 strikes. He rocks and delivers. Swing and a line drive high in the air out to left. Stevenson comes in and makes the catch on the jog for out number 3. Moser retires the side in order and takes us to the 5th. No score on the score 1260 in Valley Live. 5th inning here at NBT Bank Stadium. Still scoreless between Syracuse and Lehigh Valley. Big reason why we haven't seen a run on the board is Nolan McLean. He's been dominant through 4 innings. Only allowed 2 hits, and he's got 7 strikeouts. He starts with a righty-righty matchup with Rafael Lantigua, the 7-hitter. First pitch, McLean delivers a sweeper in there for a called strike, 0-1. Well, that's McLean's best pitch, the sweeper. It has so much movement to it, away from a righty. 0-1. Fastball in for a called strike, and he jumps ahead 0-2. Now, scouts say it truly is an elite pitch. It's getting batters out at this level, and I'm sure it's going to do damage in the bigs. 0-2, bounces a foot short. Tried to go with a curveball there, but it's ball 1. Now, as David Stern said, Nolan McLean is not far off. He has dominated at the AAA level, which doesn't always happen. AA success doesn't always translate to this level. 1-2. Breaking ball in there for called strike 3. A curveball on the inner third. It's being challenged by Rafael Lantigua. And all eyes on the left center field scoreboard. It was a good challenge. About a half-inch inside off the plate. So it's a 2-ball, 2-strike count on Rafael Lantigua, who McLean struck out earlier. 2-2. High and in tight. Fastball misses for ball 3. Lantigua batting just .228 on the season, but well over 300 in his last 25 games. 3-2. Up high, ball 4. Well, McLean lost touch with the fastball, left it high. 3rd walk he's given out today.
Shortstop, number 4.
That's 2 leadoff walks for McLean, too. He started the 3rd inning by walking Donovan Walton, who steps up to bat right now. And now he starts the 5th by giving a free pass to Lantigua. Nobody out, start of the 5th inning. No score between Mets and Iron Pigs. First pitch to Walton. Swing and a miss on a cutter. Sword-like swing by Walton. Walton 1 for 4 last night. Drew a walk in his first plate appearance today. Traded from the Mets to the Phillies about a week ago for cash considerations. Turns out to be a better spot for Walton. He could play every day here, whether it's second or shortstop where he's at tonight. McLean holding before the 0-1. Set out of the stretch, letting that pitch clock run. Now he throws. It's taken outside for a ball. Close pitch right there, and it's being challenged. Holy cow, we've had a lot of challenges today. This is a fastball high and outside, and it remains high and outside for a ball. Even count to Donovan Walton, the 31-year-old from Dallas, Texas. McLean stares in for his sign. Now comes set with the dark glove right above his waist. The pitch in there for a called strike. Changeup on the inner third. Haven't seen a lot of changeups from McLean today, but one thing David Stearns was saying about the young starter was he's getting more comfortable using his full arsenal. That's going to make him a weapon. 1-2. Walton swings and grounds it over to short. One hop stop by Reyes. He steps on second, throws to first, and Walton beats it out. It was a hot shot behind the second base bag that took one bounce before Reyes fielded. It handcuffed him, but he still got it in his glove. Took a couple steps, stepped on the bag to get one out, so Lantigua was retired, but his throw to first was just a hair late, and Walton's speed helps him out. So fielder's choice puts him at first. There's one away in the 5th. Scoreless between Syracuse and Lehigh Valley. That brings up the 9-hitter, Rodolfo Castro. McLean set now. He spins and throws to first. A soft toss to keep Walton on the bag. Castro wasn't supposed to be in this Iron Pigs lineup today, but Weston Wilson was a late scratch. The pitch. First one is outside for a ball. So Castro was inserted into the lineup. Phillies outfielder Max Kepler was injured today. Wilson likely a candidate to fill his spot. 1-0 pitch. Castro takes the ball outside. 71 pitches for McLean right now with 1 out in the 5th inning. His season high is 93. That was in his 3rd outing in AAA. His last 4 have all been around that mark. 90, 90, 85, and 89. The 2-0. Castro takes a breaking ball that drops over the plate for a called strike. Rodolfo Castro started the season just 4 for 40 in 11 games. Since then, .250 average, .750 OPS. 2-1 pitch, waved on and missed, way ahead of a sweeper. Strikeout would be big for McLean here. He's already got 7 tonight. Now Castro calls time, steps out of the box. Gripping his all-black bat, white batting gloves. Two balls and 2 strikes on the right-handed hitter. McLean out of the stretch, throws. Swing and a miss for strike 3. A sinker riding in on the hands.
Center fielder.
Nasty pitch by McLean right there. 94 inside. Almost impossible to hit. He gets out number 2 and his 8th strikeout of the night. 2 down, top of the 5th, no score. Here's Justin Crawford, the pitch. First one a strike. A cutter in there to make it 0-1. Crawford's 0 for 2 today. A strikeout looking and a ground out back to the pitcher. This is one of the best hitters in the league. He entered today batting .340. 0-1. Crawford waves and misses at a cutter. Alvarez tries a back pick over to first, and he might have gotten hit by Crawford in the backswing. Alvarez was just laying on the ground for a moment, and now he pulls his helmet off and takes one of the trainers, Austin Dayton, as well as Dick Scott, the manager, out to chat with him. Crawford took a swing at that pitch, a cutter inside. Big long swing, and as Alvarez popped up to throw to first, the bat nicked him on the left side of the helmet. Didn't really get crushed by the bat, but looked like he got hit in a really uncomfortable spot. I mean, any bat to the helmet situation can't be comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you got all the protective gear, but definitely got nicked right in the front left. Fortunately, it was like after the backswing as it was coming back from Crawford to the front of his body. So good to see Alvarez okay. I think I saw a little smile on his face as well.
No balls and 2 strikes on Crawford with 2 outs. McLean spins and throws to first, and Walton dives in headfirst safely. Nolan had 10 Ks in his last start. That was across 5 innings against Worcester. He's got 8 here tonight. The 0-2 pitch. Runner goes. It's grounded right field side and through for a hit. Walton takes off for third, and he's going to stop there. Well, Yanni Hernandez went to cover second base. He would have had that ball like any second baseman, but he took a dash towards the bag, and Crawford hit it exactly where he was playing.
Anthony.
Yeah, interesting with the left-handed batter up. You have the second baseman covering the base, but I think so much of that has to do with how often Crawford kind of slaps the ball to the left side of the infield. Still interesting to see. More work for McLean.
So in an 0-2 count, Crawford gets an infield single. Here's Keaton Anthony. First pitch is low and inside for a ball. Challenged by Alvarez. It was a sweeper that looked like it nicked the low outside corner, and this is a really close pitch. So many challenges today, and he gets this one right. Nice challenge by Alvarez. No balls and a strike. Runners at first and third. 2 outs and still no score in the top of the fifth. 0-1 pitch. Anthony slaps it foul to the right side, out of play. So McLean was ahead 0-2 on Crawford. Now he's got 2 strikes on Anthony. Can he put him away here? Alvarez steps in front of home plate. Taps his gear a couple of times to show signs to the infield. There's speed on the bases. Same situation yesterday. Walton at third, Crawford at first. They pulled off a double steal and scored. The 0-2, Crawford goes. Pitch is high. Alvarez pump fakes to second, holds onto the ball. That's the right decision, because if the throw is even barely off the mark, Walton is scoring at third. So Crawford gets in with a stolen base, his 28th of the season.
I almost wonder if you could have even had a pitch out there. You know, in an 0-2 count, you think Crawford's probably going to go, because that was just a tough pitch for Alvarez to even have a shot to throw to second, even if he wanted to.
The 1-2. Anthony takes high and inside, 96 with a fastball.
Or almost the quasi pitch out, where it's like a fastball or even a sweeper off the plate, where Alvarez can already get his momentum moving and maybe get a swing and a miss, but you know, you could at least have him moving to second.
2-2 count with 2 down. McLean throws. In there for a called strike 3. He rings him up with a sinker. Another masterclass by Nolan McLean. 9 Ks through 5. To the bottom of the fifth. Still no score between Lehigh Valley and Syracuse. On Valley Live, and the score 12-60. Back at NBT Bank Stadium with no score in the bottom of the fifth inning. Mets and Iron Pigs caught in a pitcher's duel right now. Gabe Moser, the right-handed starter, has been great through 4 innings. First pitch to the righty, Meneses, swung on and bounced foul, third base side. Moser got roughed up last time out. A week ago against Scranton, he gave up 10 hits and 9 earned runs. Today's been a completely different story. 0-1 pitch. Meneses takes the ball outside. Through 4 innings so far, he's only allowed 2 hits. Walked just 1 batter. He's hit 1 as well. But he's been cruising so far. 1-1 pitch. Meneses takes the ball low and in. He doesn't overpower. Pretty simple arsenal: sinker, slider, curveball are the main 3 pitches. 2-1. Meneses flies it high in the air, right side, but out of play. Doesn't throw much harder than 91 or 92, really, but the Mets really haven't had a ton of success against the soft-tossing guys this season, the more crafty pitchers that throw a lot of breaking balls. They've been better against pitchers like Andrew Painter last night, guys that throw up near triple digits. The 2-2. Meneses takes the ball outside. They had 3 homers against Andrew Painter last night. One of the top pitching prospects in all of baseball. Full count against Joey. He's been on base once today with a walk. 3-2. Swing and a grounder foul, third base side again. Luis De Los Santos stands on deck. Three-two pitch. Meneses twists it foul again, third base side. Getting a lot of inside pitches from Moser. This Mets lineup has been fantastic in the second half. They're 3rd in average, 4th in runs, 2nd in OPS, and 2nd in homers. But they're quiet today, just 2 hits. 3-2. Meneses lines one straight up the middle. Make that hit number 3. Hard hit line drive. He's into first with a leadoff single.
I mean, back-to-back today, 2 of the best plate appearances we've seen from Joey Meneses all year long. First plate appearance, extends it, fouls away a couple pitches, takes a couple close pitches, works a walk. Here, pretty similar story. Fouled away pitch after pitch after pitch. finally gets a sinker that clipped too far to the zone, and Meneses laced it to center.
First pitch to De Los Santos, taken for a ball up high. So Joey walked his first time up, and he singled here in the bottom of the fifth. Nobody out, still no score. He certainly hasn't walked often. That was just his third walk in his last 31 games. 1-0. De Los Santos takes a called strike. Sinker on the outer third. Well, Luis was 2 for 4 with a couple RBIs last night. Batting in the 8th spot. Hasn't played a ton in the second half. 1-1 pitch. De Los Santos takes the ball high. You know, with Luis Angel Acuna and Pablo Reyes, those two have been in the infield pretty much every game aside from Acuna's center field games. So De Los Santos has played 8 of 13 games in the second half. 2-1, swing and a fly ball out to left field. Stevenson comes sprinting in. Walton goes out. It is Walton who is called off by Stevenson. Well, the ball dropped in between. Stevenson threw to second base. They got Meneses, and De Los Santos is in with a bloop single that looked like it was about to be caught.
Yeah, it's one of those in-betweeners, and Stevenson gave the little deke at the end like, oh, I'm going to catch it. Meneses needed to be further to second base, or at least needed to have his momentum going that way. I know that's a tough one to read, but I think that's one that he'll be the first to tell you he made a little bit of a base-running mistake on.
With 1 out, the first pitch to Yanni Hernandez is blooped over the infield. The third baseman Castro into foul territory makes the catch about halfway down the line for out number 2. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th inning with a runner at first. 0-0 between Syracuse and Lehigh Valley. A lot different than last night's 18-run affair. Moser and Nolan McLean have been great so far. Mets have a right-hander warming up in the bullpen right now. First pitch, in there for a called strike to Jose Azocar. Actually, looks like a lefty warming up. I believe it's Colin Poche. Ground ball to short. Walton Fields throws to second, gets out number 3. Well, the Mets still can't get anything going on offense. We're back at NBT Bank Stadium on a beautiful Wednesday night with Michael Tricarico. I'm Jack Gordon. No score between Lehigh Valley and Syracuse here in the top of the 6th inning. Mets starter Nolan McLean back on the bump. He faces the left-handed hitting Garrett Stubbs, who's 1 for 2. First pitch, Stubbs takes the ball high, 1-0. Velocity a couple ticks down for McLean, fastball at 93. That was his 84th pitch of the day. 1-0. Check swing. Did he go around? No, he didn't. 2-0. Couple of four-seam fastballs for McLean missing the zone. 2-ball, no strike count. He throws. Swing and a miss on a nasty sweeper inside. Jose Castillo, the big lefty, warming up in the pen as Stubbs launches this one into right. Azocar back to the track at the wall. He leaps, and he made the grab. Oh, an unbelievable play by Jose Azocar.
I mean, took away, if not a home run, an extra base hit. You could see him just lining that up for a couple of steps. Off the bat, looked like it probably would be gone, and Azocar was there to make the play.
First pitch into Rincones is swung on and missed. It's 0-1. 1 out in the 6th inning after a fantastic play by Azocar. 0-1. That's inside for a ball. That ball looked like it was getting out of the yard. Almost over that right field fence until Azocar had something to do with it. 1-1 pitch. Rincones takes the ball low. A left-handed hitting cleanup man is 1 for 2 with a single and a stolen base today. got stranded at third in the fourth inning. 2 balls and a strike. McLean winds up and delivers. Rincones chops it over to second. Fielded by Hernandez, he throws to first, and there's 2 away. The season high for pitches for McLean is 93. He's at 91 right now, and he's going to get this batter, Oscar Mercado. He's got an opportunity to get through 6 innings, something he's done in 4 of his 8 AAA starts. McLean threw the baseball into the dugout to get a new one, and he's getting called for a pitch clock violation. He's saying to the home plate umpire that the ump put his hands up like he was granted time.
You know, the funny part, too, is the whole pitch clock thing. This is going to take more time than if we just kept moving forward.
Yeah,
the
I know.
rule's the rule, though. I guarantee Dick Scott came out, stood up for his guy, got the explanation, and then sometimes there's nothing you could say. The explanation is what it is, and you go, okay.
I have a feeling McLean's going to pitch angry in this at-bat. The 1-0, first pitch swing, and a foul ball off. Out play, 1-1 rather.
Need new windows, give Comfort a call.
One pitch, swung on and missed. Great curveball by McLean, 1-2. He's already got 9 strikeouts. Last outing, he had 10 Ks through 5, and that was a AAA career high. Can he match that total today? 1 ball, 2 strikes, he throws. Outside, it bounces, a sweeper off the mark. New season high in pitches for McLean here with 94. Man, he's a workhorse. 2 outs, top of the 6th, still no score. The 2-2 from McLean. He hesitates and throws. High and tight, a brush back of Mercado, who dances out of the right-handed batter's box. A 96-mile-an-hour fastball. That blew his helmet right off. Mercado had to limbo out of the way. So now he's in a full count with 2 down in the 6th. Can McLean punch him out? Get out of the inning. The 3-2. Just foul tipped into the backstop. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. He's trusting the heater here. Still a full count. McLean winds up and fires. Breaking ball drops in for a called strike 3. He did it again. Nothing short of a pitcher's duel today. Scoreless in the bottom of the 6th inning. Gabe Moser winds up and delivers the first pitch to Jared Young. The lefty takes the ball inside, 1-0. Thanks for tuning in on your Wednesday night with Michael Tricarico. I'm Jack Gordon. 1 ball, no strikes on Young. Here's the pitch. He takes another ball inside, 2-0. Gabe Moser for the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs has pitched 5 scoreless innings so far, only allowing 3 hits. The 2-0. Young swings and pops it up third base side, foul and out of play. Young has one of those 3 hits, a single back in the 3rd inning. The Mets really haven't gotten to take advantage of anyone on base. They've stranded 4. 2 balls and a strike. Moser winds up, pauses, and throws. Swing and a fly ball drifting out towards left center. Stevenson back at the warning track is under it. He makes the catch for the first out. Hard hit ball by Jared Young, but the left fielder Cal Stevenson makes the catch, so there's 1 away. That brings up Francisco Alvarez, the hard-hitting catcher, who's 0 for 2 tonight. 1 out, bottom of the 6th. No score between Syracuse and Lehigh Valley. Alvarez with a pop out to first in the 1st inning, and he grounded into a double play in the 3rd. Moser winds up and delivers. First pitch swinging. He lifts it in the air left side, but it drops foul on the warning track dirt. Alvarez 2 for 5 yesterday. Scored a run, had an RBI. He's got homers in 4 of his last 8 games. Wearing teal cleats today with the all-white uniforms. White batting gloves. No balls, 1 strike. The pitch. Alvarez waves and misses at a slider away. 0-2. Heck of a bounce back so far for Gabe Moser, who gave up 9 runs through 4 1/3 innings in his last start. 0-2 pitch. Alvarez takes, called strike 3. Rung up on a sinker on the outer third of the plate.
Now batting the shortstop, number 0.
That was a great pitch, and it's just his 3rd strikeout of the night. He hasn't needed too many Ks. He's getting a lot of weak contact. 2 outs, bottom 6. Gabe Moser cruising so far. The 29-year-old from Allentown, Pennsylvania. The pitch. Called strike, 0-1. Getting to play for his hometown squad. AAA Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs in the Allentown area. 0-1 pitch. Reyes takes the ball outside. Not a very linear path for Gabe Moser, who was a 27th round draft pick by the Padres in 2018 out of Shippensburg University. 1-1. Fouled back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Moser has bounced around for a little bit. He was a great pitcher in college, but didn't get that key college opportunity that many hard throwers get. 1-2. Reyes takes a bouncing ball, and it's a 2-2 count. So he played 4 years at Shippensburg, drafted by the Padres. Worked his way up the system. Signed by Philadelphia last year. Never got to AAA for San Diego. 2-2. Reyes takes ball 3 inside. Still trying to make his major league debut. He's pitched 6 games here in AAA. Entered today with a 7.16 ERA. Dropped it below 6. 3-2. Reyes takes, called strike 3. A sinker right over the plate. Deceiving pitch by Moser. Takes us out of the 6th inning. Still no score here on Valley Live in the score 1260.
What a day it was. A McLean masterclass here tonight for the Syracuse Mets. And Nolan McLean pitches 6 scoreless innings, 3 walks, 10 strikeouts, 97 pitches, a career high 62 strikes. Jose Castillo takes over, and his first pitch to Cal Stevenson misses the zone for ball 1. So Castillo, a left-handed thrower on the mound for Syracuse. Each team has 3 hits. Neither team has scored a run. Top of the 7th inning, and we've got a pitch clock violation, so it's a 2-0 count on Stevenson. Second pitch clock violation called against Syracuse today. Here's the 2-0. There's a strike on the outside edge. Castillo, a 29-year-old left-handed thrower. Two balls and a strike from Stevenson. Here's the pitch. There's a strike, a sinker at 94 miles per hour. Well, Castillo is pitching in his 2nd game with Syracuse. He had 5 prior AAA appearances with Reno. Spent the other time this season in the majors. 2-2. Misses lone outside ball 3. 5 appearances in the big leagues with the Diamondbacks. Gave up 8 runs in 6 1/3 innings, but was pretty good with New York. With the Mets, 2.38 ERA in 13 appearances and 11 1/3 innings pitched. Gave up 16 hits, but struck out 14 batters. 3-2 on Stevenson. Castillo set. Here's the pitch. Swinging a chopper foul, first base side. So it's a 3-2 count. Jose Castillo, a pitcher who's had a decent amount of big league experience. Venezuelan. Spent time with the San Diego Padres. 2018, 19, 22, 23. 3-2. Low for ball 4. So Castillo walks Stevenson to begin the 7th inning.
Second baseman, number
Never good to
0,
allow these
Rafael
leadoff base runners to the Iron Pigs just with all of the speed that they have. Stevenson 17 for 19 in stolen bases this season. He leads off of first. First pitch from Castillo, angled foul, first base side into the Lehigh Valley dugout. Good thing is, I suppose, Castillo's a left-handed pitcher. Sometimes that can make life a little bit more difficult on the base runner at first because the pitcher's looking right at you. No balls and a strike, the count. Alvarez has thrown out a runner already today. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Good changeup for strike 2. Castillo originally signed as an international free agent with the Tampa Bay Rays back in 2012. He was in the minor league system for the Rays for 2 seasons before he was traded to the Padres. Pitch here, loop behind second and into right center field for a hit. Stevenson around second. He moves up to third. Lantigua picks up the hit. And it's runners at first and third for Lehigh Valley, and the Mets, after missing out on few opportunities on offense for themselves, now find themselves in a very precarious spot here in the 7th.
This game has had a weird feel to it because the Mets haven't gotten anything going on offense. Nolan McLean did absolutely everything he could. 6 scoreless innings. It doesn't get much better than that at all. Runners at first and third here. You're in a rough situation. If you let a run in, okay, it's not the worst because at the end of the day, you still do have a great offense.
Pitch here, grounded foul, first base side by Walton.
It feels like they've got to come alive at some point, right?
Yeah, you would think. Mets offense scored 13 runs on 14 hits yesterday. 8 of the 9 batters the same. In Syracuse today, no runs on 3 hits. Nothing in 1 on Walton, runners on the corners. Mets a double play depth on the infield. Here's the throw to first. And Lantigua back safely with the head first slide. Lantigua's 11 for 14 for stolen bases. He takes off, pitch a strike, throw to second base is waiting for him. They got him. Do not run on Francisco Alvarez. When will they learn? Boy, he has really picked it up behind the plate defensively for Syracuse, and that is a big first out of the frame.
He's throwing darts today. I mean, every one of his throws is in the perfect spot.
Now the Mets bring the infield in. After the caught stealing. Boy, beautifully done by Francisco Alvarez right there. Pitch here is grounded through the left side. Into left field for a hit. Donovan Walton gets back at his former team, slapping his single into left, bringing home a run to put Lehigh Valley in front 1-0.
Third baseman, number
Well, when you have a runner at third and nobody out,
Castro.
feels like that's bound to happen. A ground ball just a couple feet away from Reyes there. And, they're doing the right thing bringing the infield in.
Well, now here is Rodolfo Castro, who bats from the right-hand side. First pitch, swing and a fly ball foul back into the right for strike 1.
All right, Michael, you want the numbers on that throw from Francisco Alvarez?
Give them to me.
85.9 miles an hour on the throw. That is 99th percentile in Major League Baseball.
His second hardest throw of the season. 0-1. Swinging a line drive, caught at third by De Los Santos. No throw back to first as Walton got to the base. Castro lines out 2 away.
Center fielder, number 3.
I don't think it's any mistake that he's doing his best behind the dish that he has all season long. He's working every single day to get his body in the right shape, to be in the right position behind the plate, to be strong enough to make those plays, and he certainly is.
First pitch to Justin Crawford misses the zone. For now, we're getting a challenge from Alvarez. Taking a look up at the video board and seeing that it was a strike. That's a good challenge from Alvy. So it's 1-0 Lehigh Valley over Syracuse. Here's the 0-1. Here's a strike. It's 0-2. Pop time excellent as well. 1.8 on the pop time from Alvarez for the caught stealing.
90th percentile in Major League Baseball. I mean, it speaks for itself.
0-2. Misses down low for ball one. I mean, yeah, it was the throw, the tag was waiting for Lantigua.
Think about what the Mets are doing with their catchers right now. Between Luis Torrens, Hayden Sanger, and Francisco Alvarez. A lot of positives behind the plate.
Absolutely. 1-2 on Crawford. Here's the pitch. Swing and a ground ball foul. Just caught a piece of that slider.
You know, there's a couple things Alvarez needs to get better at, but his throws are great. His framing's great. Can improve the blocking and receiving a little bit, but, you know, he's still just 23 years old.
Yeah. People forget.
Right.
1-2 strikes, and Crawford. Here's the pitch. Half swing. Pitch missed outside. He did not go, so it's 2-2. What a luxury, too, that the Mets have J.P. Arancibia here in Syracuse. Guy who spent a large chunk of time in the big leagues. And that's someone that Alvarez can really work with, learn from. 2-2. Half swing. Pitch missed outside. Did he go? No. Again, maybe that's one. If you have a third base umpire that's down the line, you might have gotten the call, but with a runner at first, third base umpire is over near second base. I think he probably might have gone around. It's close.
Probably swung the bat.
Well, probably, maybe, possibly. 3-2. Doesn't matter. Called strike 3. Got him on the outside corner. Run does come home to score. Lehigh Valley has a 1-0 lead as we're about to go to the bottom of the 7th after an unsuccessful challenge from Crawford. 1-0 Lehigh Valley, bottom 7 next on Valley Live on the score 1260. After he was released by the Mariners. Here's the first pitch to Drew Gilbert, and it misses the zone for ball 1. Got to talk about the start, though, that Gabe Moser had. I mean, he gave up 10 hits, 9 runs a week ago. He pitched 6 scoreless innings tonight against a Syracuse lineup that scored 13 runs yesterday. Gilbert lifts this in the air. Deep left center field. Long run back. Stevenson, who tracks it down to make the catch in the left center field gap for the first out of the frame.
Number 7.
You don't see Gilbert go to the opposite field a lot. He got a pitch to hit. Carried it a long way to the opposite field.
Syracuse, you get the feeling like they're, ready to break out, but, you start to get to the point down by a run where you start to, run low on time, run low on outs remaining. First pitch to David Villar. Chopper hit to third. Fielded by Castro. Shuffle step throw to first in time. 2 away.
Do you feel like you just need to put a little bit of pressure on this pitching staff? Make them feel less comfortable, and then let the talent of this lineup take over.
Unfortunately, you might have had that in the 5th inning with the leadoff single from Meneses, but then that little bloop that fell, and you had the fielder's choice where an outfielder gets the out at second base. And tough. That being said, it's just a 1-run game. 1 swing can tie it. Here's the first pitch to Joey Meneses, and it misses outside for ball 1. Well, Adonis Medina is a former New York Met. Saw him in Syracuse 2022. 1-0 is low for ball 2. 18 appearances with Syracuse in 22. 31 innings pitched and a 4.65 ERA. Pitched 14 times in the majors with New York. 2-0. Swinging a line drive caught at third by Castro. And if you need a summary of how the day's gone offensively for the Mets, that is it. 1, 2, 3 inning. 1-0 Lehigh Valley leads over Syracuse as Justin Garza comes out of the bullpen for the Mets. Replaces Jose Castillo, gave up the 1 run on 2 hits plus a walk. Last inning did get the strikeout through 21 pitches. 15 were strikes. So now it's Garza facing 2, 3, 4 in the Lehigh Valley order. First pitch is swung on and chopped by Keaton Anthony to short. Fielded by Reyes, and a throw to first is in time for the first out of the frame.
Now batting the catcher.
Well, Justin Garza pitching here with Syracuse. He has made 5 appearances. Only 2 of the 5 have been scoreless outings. Certainly has the stuff. It's just a matter of being more consistent with it. Walks have really hurt him over his last 2 outings. Had 5 walks, just 1 strikeout against Worcester last week. First pitch to Stubbs, a strike. It's 0-1. I will say, you know, for some of the guys who have trouble finding the strike zone when they first come to this organization, after a while, the mentality kind of changes. 0-1 misses low for ball 1. I think it's a mentality that we're seeing from a lot of these Syracuse pitchers, starters included, like Nolan McLean and Brandon Sproat. The mentality of just rearing back, throwing hard, attacking the zone. 1-1. Rounded foul, first base side. It's 1-2. I mean, think about it. Even Castillo, yes, he gave up a run, gave up a couple of hits. 15 strikes out of the 21 pitches that he threw. 1-2 on Stubbs. Garza set the pitch. Is low with the splitter, and it's now 2-2. Garza was in the San Francisco Giants organization, pitching for Sacramento. Mets acquired him from the San Francisco Giants. Made a few appearances in the big leagues. Here's the 2-2, and it misses outside for ball 3. Then he was optioned down here to Syracuse.
Syracuse is just Sacramento 2.0 now.
Yeah, right.
David Villar, Justin Garza, Donovan Walton last year.
Here's the 3-2. Swinging a high pop-up. Right side of the infield. First baseman David Villar making the call and the catch for the second out of the frame. Weather's just as good here in Syracuse as it is in Sacramento, right?
Right fielder, number
I don't know
11,
about that one. That might be controversial.
I don't know. You're telling me 77 degrees, a little sun shining, nice breeze blowing. This isn't near perfect weather right now? You're telling me it's going to be nicer weather in Sacramento right now?
I got no problem with the Syracuse weather. I'm not complaining.
Here's the first pitch to Gabriel Rincones Jr. Misses low for ball 1.
Other people, yeah. They like to complain about the weather.
People like to complain about everything.
Okay, I'm not going to lie. I've complained about the weather a lot.
1-0 is low for ball 2.
If I didn't complain with that, I would have been, wearing that home.
Yeah, you don't have to wear
Just
that.
being
one.
honest.
Honesty.
I don't complain about the hot weather, though, lately,
Yeah,
because
no.
we'll live with it.
2 balls and no strikes on Rincones. Here's the pitch. That misses low for ball 3. So 2 initially quick outs for Justin Garza, but now he's down in the count 3-0 to Rincones. And that's a guy where you let him get on base. Now he's a threat to steal. He gets in scoring position. That's what you want to avoid. Here's the 3-0. Swinging a chopper right at second base. Hernandez, the second baseman, backhand throw to first in time. It's a 1-2-3 inning out of the bullpen. Great day for ice cream here at NBT Bank Stadium. 78 degrees, sun shining. Just a great night for baseball. 1-0 Lehigh Valley leads over Syracuse. New pitcher into the game. It's Nolan Hoffman, a right-handed thrower who has split time this season in AAA with Round Rock and now Lehigh Valley. Luis De Los Santos leads off 8-9-1 in the Mets order, and the pitch is a strike, a sinker on the inside corner, and it's 0-1. I mean, we've had the feeling for innings that the Syracuse offense is ready to break out. I mean, they can at any point. 7-run 7th inning yesterday put the game away. 0-1. Swinging a foul straight back for strike 2.
Now, you got to get either De Los Santos or Hernandez on 8-9 hitters in the order. If you can get one on with one out for the top of the order, you're in good shape. I think this lineup's too good not to produce.
No balls and 2 strikes on Luis De Los Santos. Hoffman from the stretch, the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Went with a sweeper, so De Los Santos strikes out, and there's one away for Yanni Hernandez.
Number 66, Yanni.
I mean, certainly on the plus side for Syracuse, you were guaranteed at some point to get young Alvarez and Reyes up, whether it's this inning or next inning. On the downside, you'd rather just at least tie this game right here in the 8th. Yanni bats from the left-hand side, a switch hitter. First pitch is taken for a strike, knee high in the inside corner. It's 0-1. Just seems like these Syracuse hitters have been off balance all game long. Just haven't had quite the right feel for it. Pitch Swing and a ground ball, 2 seconds. Sliding stop, Lantigua. His throw to first is in time, 2 away.
I mean, how many balls hit almost 100 miles an hour or more are going to end up being outs? It's been a handful of them today.
And unfortunately, Syracuse has seen 10, make it 11 in a row retired. Last single was from Joey Meneses to lead off the 5th. You hope that wasn't the last opportunity Syracuse is going to get today. Here's Jose Azocar batting from the right-hand side. The first pitch, swing and a pop foul back into the right for strike 1. Azocar is 1 for 2 today. Was also hit by a pitch. Here's the 0-1. Outside with the curveball for ball 1. Well, after Azocar, it's Young. Look, I'd like your chances with Jared Young at the plate and a runner on base. 1-1. Outside ball 2. You know, one of the reasons why this game isn't a larger lead for Lehigh Valley is because of Azocar's defense. He robbed a home run past in right field just a couple of innings ago. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss and another curveball from Hoffman, moving the count to 2-2. Lincoln, Nebraska native, went to school at Texas A&M. Nolan Hoffman. The 2-2 count and Jose Azocar. 2 outs, bottom 8. 1-0 Lehigh the pitch. Called strike 3. 94-mile-an-hour fastball. This night here in Syracuse, a Wednesday night at NBT Bank Stadium with Jack Gordon. I'm Michael Tricarico. Happy to have you joining us. New pitcher into the game for Syracuse is Julian Merriweather, trying to hold the deficit at just 1 run. A run that's scored in the 7th inning, the difference so far in this game. Justin Garza pitched a 1-2-3 8th. Now it's Merriweather for the 9th. He faces 5, 6, 7 due up in the Lehigh Valley order with Oscar Mercado leading off. I mean, look, if you're Syracuse, you've got 2, 3, 4 due up in your order in the bottom of the 9th. Jared Young, Francisco Alvarez, Pablo Reyes. Here's the pitch to Mercado. Ground ball left of second. Snow cone grab. Reyes bouncing a throw twice to first. In time, picked by VR, 1 away. I don't know if anyone has mastered the art of the bouncer on a throw than Pablo Reyes.
All of these bouncing throws are so accurate. I mean, that's straight in line with VR stretch at first. Pablo makes that look easy.
Yeah.
By no means is that an easy play.
It's a purposeful bounce, too. People will say, oh, my gosh, he just bounced it over the first. Yeah, he meant to. He'd rather have that than an airmail. Here's the pitch to Cal Stevenson, taken for a strike.
Right, because with all of his momentum moving to his left and towards the outfield, if he tries to throw that ball in the air, chances are it's wide right.
0-1, Stevenson slaps it foul.
But when you bounce it, you can get it to a point, okay, I know it's going to be in line with VR. It takes that skip, and you know when it skips on the ground, it's not spinning like crazy and will move a different direction. It's straight towards the first baseman.
Yeah. Very, very well done by Pablo. 0-2, that misses in the dirt. Change up from Merriweather. Counts 1-2.
Yeah, it's a veteran play. I really don't know if we've seen any other shortstops do that this year.
Not like that. Not to that effect, that's for sure. 1-2 on Stevenson with 1 out. 1-0 Iron Pigs. Here's the pitch. Swinging a broken back grounder to second. It's Hernandez charging, fielding, and throwing to first just in time to get Stevenson for the 2nd out. Had a little trouble getting that thing out of his glove, which led to a lackadaisical throw to first just in time to get the speedy Stevenson. Oof, that could have been disastrous.
Well, that was a close play. I mean, ball took a while to get there. Yeah, I think the transfer just took a half second too long, but thankfully he made it.
Now here's Rafael Antigua. First pitch from Merriweather is taken high for ball 1. 1-0 Iron Pigs lead over the Mets. We're in the top of the 9th inning. Run in the 7th inning is held up so far for Lehigh Valley. 1-0 is high for ball 2. I mean, if you're the Iron Pigs, you certainly can't feel comfortable with just a 1-run lead. But this Syracuse lineup with the guys that are scheduled to come up in the bottom half of the 9th. 2-0. Misses low for ball 3. Fastball from Merriweather. Second game of a 6-game series between these two ball clubs. Here's the pitch. There's a strike. Lantigua was taken the whole way. Well, Merriweather is another guy that brings a wealth of Major League experience. 3-1. Swing and a miss. Good slider for strike 2. And he's been really good as we've seen him here in Syracuse. Only allowed 1 run in 7 2/3 innings pitched. 3-2 on Lantigua with a pitch. Swinging a high pop-up right side of the infield. First baseman VR making the call, and just behind the bag, he makes the catch for the final out of the frame. Well, that is 8 in a row retired by the Syracuse bullpen. It is the bottom of the 9th inning at NBT Bank Stadium. The Syracuse Mets trail the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs 1-0. 2-3-4 due up in the Mets order with Jared Young leading off and Gio Zuniga on the mound for the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. He's 2 for 2 in save opportunities this season, a 4.61 ERA in 25 appearances, 27 1/3 innings pitched. Righty on lefty matchup to start the bottom of the 9th, the first pitch. High and away, ball 1. Zuniga's allowed 23 hits and 14 runs in 27 1/3 innings, 15 walks, 28 strikeouts. 1-0 on Young. Here's the pitch. Swing and a line drive caught at second by Lantigua. 1 away, and more bad luck for Syracuse. That's the 6th or 7th ball that Syracuse has hit hard, but right to an opposing player. Well, now here's Francisco Alvarez. He's 0 for 3 today. Popped out, grounded into a double play that ended an inning with runners on the corners. He's also struck out. Here's the first pitch. Breaking ball misses inside with the slider for ball 1. Well, if Alvarez does get on, you do have plenty of options to run for him. Great speed on the bench. 1-0 on Alvarez. Here's the pitch. Swinging a ground ball foul, third base side. It's 1-1.
That foul ball is brought to you by Comfort Windows and Doors. Need new windows? Give Comfort a call.
Gilberto Celestino would probably be a leading candidate to pinch run if Alvarez gets on. Or Alvy could just hit a home run and, take his time around the bases. 1-0, Lehigh Valley leads over Syracuse. Bottom of the 9th inning. A day after Syracuse scored 13 runs on 14 hits. Right now they're shut out. Here's the 1-1. Swinging a fly ball. Deep in the air. Down the left field line. If it's fair, it's gone, but it's foul. Oh, boy. He got all of it. A pitch that hung a slider near the heart of the plate. Alvarez hammered it nearly 400 feet, but just foul.
Oh, just a little bit early. Man, he crushed it.
More bad luck for the Mets.
I know.
1-2 on Alvarez. Plate appearance not done just yet. Alvarez.
He's laughing about it right now.
He's going, man, come on. Zuniga on the mound, comes set just above the belt. 6'5", right-handed pitcher, kicks and delivers. Fouled straight back on a 100-mile-per-hour fastball.
Yeah, he wasn't messing around after that hanging slider.
And that's the thing. I mean, that's a fastball down the middle, but 100 miles an hour doesn't matter. That thing is tough to hit. 1-2 on Alvarez. Bottom 9, 1 out. Mets down by 1. Here's the pitch. Outside with another slider at 88 miles an hour, and it's 2-2. Boy, what a good test here for Francisco Alvarez. Against a pitcher in Zuniga who has been inconsistent, but at his best, he's tough to hit. Here's the 2-2. Slider outside for ball 3.
Yeah, way to lay off right there. Great eye by Alvarez. He's making Zuniga work right now.
Zuniga's only allowed 1 run since June 14th. 3-2 on Alvarez, 1 out. And time called by the catcher, Garrett Stubbs. I think as the pitch clock was starting to count down. I think Alvarez is saying, now, wait a minute. When I tried to call time, you didn't give it to me when he was behind the plate. Then again, he might be just joking with home plate umpire Evan Johnson. So over his last 9 innings, as far as Guillo Zuniga is concerned, he's only allowed 1 run since June 14th. 1-0, Lehigh Valley leads over Syracuse. Bottom of the 9th inning. 1 out, nobody on. 3-2 on Alvarez. Zuniga's set. Here's the 3-2. Inside ball for Alvarez. Works, so 1 out walk. Heck of a plate appearance by the 23-year-old. Alvey down to first. Now we take a look over to the third base Syracuse dugout where the Mets will pinch run for Francisco Alvarez. It is, as we expected, Gilberto Celestino pinch running at first as the tying run.
Good move right there. You've got speed on the bags. Now, I'm not saying you take off for second base, try to steal here, but, this is a situation where a base hit in the outfield, you go first to third or score on a double. That's the difference between having Alvarez and a faster guy out there. But a great plate appearance by Alvarez right there. That was impressive to work the walk.
And not to chase those sliders off the plate, not to get too aggressive. So now Celestino's the tying run at first. Reyes is the winning run at the plate. The Mets do not have a walk-off win yet this season. Celestino leads off of first with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. Reyes, the batter, he's 0 for 3 today. Zuniga's set. Here's the pitch. Low, ball 1, a sinker at 96 miles an hour. It's 1-0. Again, Zuniga is susceptible to giving up walks. Didn't allow a hit in his last outing, but did walk 2 batters. 1-0 on Reyes. Celestino at first. Here's the pitch. Swing and a pop foul to the backstop. Boy, he was on that sinker. Elevated at 97 miles an hour. Get the feeling if Zuniga misses his spot with a fastball, Reyes is going to make him pay. 1-1 on Pablo. Celestino at first. Mets down by 1. Here's the pitch. Reyes swings and misses at a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's now 1-2.
It's just tough to catch up with. That's back-to-back pitches that he was late on at 97. That's tough for anybody to hit. It truly is.
Lehigh Valley 1, Syracuse 0. Bottom of the 9th inning here at NBT Bank Stadium. Celestino the tying runs at first. Reyes the winning run at the plate. Zuniga set. The 1-2. Fastball misses low for ball 2. What a take at 99 miles an hour. That is a gutsy take. But this is a guy who knows the strike zone. Reyes does not strike out a ton. 3 strikeouts in 12 AAA games this year. Here's the 2-2. Outside ball 3, a 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
Now, this is where you put pressure on Zuniga. He was in this situation with Alvarez. He couldn't locate the fastball for a strike. It's unlikely he goes to a slider here, so Reyes knows what to sit on.
3-2 on Reyes. Runner takes off. The pitch is chopped towards third, but foul. Just left of the bag as Celestino is taken off from first with the 3-2 count to avoid a double play.
Way to protect there. It was a sinker about an inch or 2 below the zone, but you got to be ready to swing at anything.
You got the left-hand hitting Drew Gilbert on deck. Lefties are hitting marginally better off of Zuniga than right-handed batters. Mets down 1-0. Bottom of the 9th, 1 out. Celestino at first. 3-2 on Reyes the pitch. Inside ball 4. Pablo works a walk. And the Mets have runners at first and second for Drew Gilbert.
Pressure's on. Zuniga's thinking, okay, what can I actually locate now? His fastball, the four-seamer, the sinker, they're not in the right spots. He's getting guys late, some follow tips on the fastballs that are right down the middle, but he can't locate around the edges of the zone right now.
He's only induced 1 ground ball double play this season. Now, part of that has to do with, you're a reliever. Generally, if you're coming in late game situations, maybe you're not allowing a ton of base runners. Although, as a guy that does walk his fair share of batters, a little bit surprising that he hasn't gotten a bunch of double plays. I think a lot of that just has to do with it's either walks or strikeouts with him to an extent. It's especially been the case as of late. So meeting at the mound, Zuniga, the rest of the infield is in. What a spot for Gilbert, a guy who has, to an extent, turned his season around a little bit. And this could just be that continual climb to where he wants to be. Feels like he's in a great mindset. Feels like his swing is in the right spot. And now can he come through with a big hit? Doesn't need to win it here. Just a base hit to the outfield could tie this game. Syracuse trails 1-0. Celestino, the tying run's at second. Reyes, the winning run, is at first. Gilbert bats from the left-hand side. First pitch from Zuniga. Swing and a miss. He was hunting the fastball but got a slider in, and it's 0-1.
That first pitch slider was smart, and it was in a good spot, too. You know, if Gilbert didn't swing, it would have been a strike anyway.
No balls and a strike on Drew. Zuniga set. Runners at first and second. Mets down by 1. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Went with a changeup that just dropped out of the zone. Another excellent pitch, and it's 0-2.
I think he's just a little bit too antsy. They're jumping on the first two after he just walked a pair. Got to be patient, even with 2 strikes here. It's okay.
Gilbert taps the bat on home. Stares towards Zuniga, who comes set. No balls and 2 strikes on Gilbert. Runners at first and second in a 1-run game. The pitch. Swinging a ground ball right side through into right field for a hit. Celestino's around third. He comes home to score. Reyes is to third. Drew Gilbert pulls through. One of his top moments here in AAA. A 9th inning game-tying single with 2 strikes. And the Mets have tied it in the 9th at 1.
Really gutsy swing by Gilbert. He digs out the changeup. The pitch that he just swung and missed at. But he makes an adjustment, pulls it into right field, brings a run in.
That is excellent, excellent hitting from Drew Gilbert. Didn't try and drive it, just tried to stay alive, and his strength helped get him this game tied. Now here's David Villar batting from the right-hand side. The Mets have a chance to win it with just 1 out. Runners on the corners, winning run at third. Here comes the pitch. Misses low for ball 1. Syracuse does not have a walk-off win yet this season. The Mets have an opportunity to get one here. The winning run is at third with 1 out. Infield's at double play depth. 1-0 on VR. Zuniga set. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on the slider for strike 1. You know, to be honest, too, it's one of those situations because the infield's at double play depth, something soft on the ground could win this game. Tied at 1, bottom 9. Runners on the corners, 1 out. Zuniga set, the 1-1. Taken low for ball 2, a 98-mile-per-hour fastball.
Really good take right there because, you know, I know a lot of these hitters are sitting on the fastball. VR got one, but it was out of the zone.
Syracuse and Lehigh Valley are tied at 1. Bottom of the 9th. The Mets have the winning run at third. 1 out, 2-1 on VR. Here's the pitch. Outside and low for ball 3.
Pressure's on Zuniga right now. You know, he hasn't been able to execute.
Nobody's warming in the Iron Pigs bullpen. This is Zuniga's game to either send to extras or lose. The Mets have the winning run at third. 1 out, bottom 9, tie game. Here's the 3-1, swinging a high fly ball, back a second, towards the outfield. Walton doesn't see it. Stevenson's coming in. The second baseman, Lantigua, ends up making the catch, and Reyes was off of third base because he didn't think it would have been deep enough to score on. Lantigua made the catch on his slide, got up and threw home. Nobody advances, and this game extends. One more batter with Joey Meneses coming to the plate. What a tough one.
I mean, with Stevenson facing towards the outfield after making that catch and falling down, Reyes would have had a chance. If he was at third base, I know Stevenson was just past the infield. But one, he was facing the fence. Two, he slid down to the ground. It would have taken a minute to pop up and make that throw.
Well, now it's up to Joey Meneses, who bats from the right-hand side. Here's the pitch. It's taken inside ball one.
And I know that would be a big risk. You've got a good hitter up to bat. Reyes still at third. It's obviously better than getting thrown out at home. So now you just put your trust in Meneses.
Well, the Mets still have a shot to win it. 2 outs, runner at third, the 1-0. Swinging a line drive, left field, down for a hit, and the Mets have done it. Reyes scores from third, and Joey Meneses is the hero. It is Syracuse's first walk-off win of the season, and it keeps the Mets in first place in the IL second half standings. Syracuse scores 2 in the ninth to beat Lehigh Valley 2-1.
It was only a matter of time before this offense got going, right? This group is too good not to make plays. They put so much pressure on the Lehigh Valley bullpen and came through when it mattered. You know, who cares that Reyes stayed at third on that play? Meneses comes in clutch.
And you saw the reaction from the guys down there. Gilbert raced over to Meneses after he touched second, jumped up in his arms. This is a Syracuse team that's finally getting that winning feeling. And when you start to win games, guys start to figure out, boy, this is a lot more fun than losing. And Syracuse is a team that's figuring out multiple ways to win. Gilbert with the big 2-strike hit to tie the game, and Meneses with the line drive to left to win it for Syracuse, his third time on base, and another massive win for Syracuse. 2-1, Mets beat the Iron Pigs. Our Visit Syracuse postgame show starts when we return on Bally Live on the Score 1260. Hi, everybody. Welcome inside our Visit Syracuse broadcast booth with Jack Gordon. I'm Michael Tricarico. And, you know, Jack, was there any doubt, really, that Syracuse would finally score some runs? Maybe we didn't think it would take that long after Nolan McLean pitched really put on a master class. Syracuse pitching staff did enough. The Syracuse offense finally came through.
This lineup's too good to get shut out. It was bound to happen, especially with the top of the order up to start the inning. You know, you had some great plate appearances put together with a couple of really clutch swings.
Let's talk about McLean because he just put together 2 of the best back-to-back starts we've seen. Brandon Sproat's starting to put things together. McLean now back-to-back starts with 10 strikeouts, tying a career high. Had a career high 97 pitches as well. He looks so smooth out there.
I mean, if you combine these 2 starts, it's 11 innings, just 2 runs, and 20 strikeouts. I mean, he's dominating right now.
Yeah.
He looks in control. He looks confident. He's blowing guys away with 95, 96, spotting everything in the right places, and using his whole arsenal, too. It's not 1 or 2 pitches. He is confident with everything out there.
20 strikeouts, only 4 walks those last 2 starts. And a Syracuse team that's, really starting to come alive. If you're going to have a strong second half of your season, if you're going to have a special and memorable second half, you got to win games like this. And Syracuse does so with 2 runs in the 9th inning to beat the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs 2-1. McLean pitched 6 scoreless innings with 10 strikeouts, and the Mets had some huge walks from Francisco Alvarez and Pablo Reyes in the 9th, a Drew Gilbert game-tying single, and then the Joey Meneses walk-off RBI hit that leads the Syracuse Mets to their first walk-off win of the season. Meneses wins it for Syracuse. We're back at it tomorrow, 6:35 first pitch between the Mets and the Iron Pigs. For Jack Gordon, our outstanding crew, I'm Michael Tricarico saying so long from Syracuse, and thanks for watching on Bally Live and MILB.TV. Good night.